amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for, you guessed it, another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. Now let's rock and roll.
T-minus 10.
Come on, folks.
8,
Count
7,
down with me.
6, 5,
4.
3.
Come on.
2.
Almost
1,
there.
0.
Yeah.
Ignition. Liftoff.
Here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt.
Yeah.
Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your
And
hats.
get ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no. It's show with no name time. On radio. It's a show with no.
I hope you guys are pumped, motivados. Let's go, go. Welcome, welcome, Show with No Namers from all around the world. Welcome to your English program, your daily English class here on Vaughn Radio. It's exciting, it's interactive, it's awesome. Well, that's because of you guys. You make it awesome. That's right. Your contributions. In fact, today we're going to be hearing from Alberto, Alfonso, Anix, Born to Iron Man, Christina Chicago, Chris Valrol, Marisol, and Nuria in our question of the week. And this week's question is, when was the last time you had an adrenaline boost? You can say a rush. Boost es aumento. A rush, un subidón de adrenalina. So we're going to be hearing from all our amigos today who are going to practice their speaking with us here on the air. Next week's question of the week. What's the first thing you do after getting home from a trip? That's right. What is the first thing you do? You take your shoes off, I imagine. But do you unpack? Or do you do laundry? Or do you go to your toilet and say, "Oh man, I missed you"? There's no wrong answer. So that's next week's question of the week. And it is, what is the first thing you do when you get home from a trip? You can send your participations to my email address, which is Alonso, that's 2 A's, Alonso @grupovon.com. And as always, I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. But right now, it's not time for question of the week. We've got some other stuff to do in the meantime. So why don't we kick things off with the Say What soundbite? Come on.
Say what?
Welcome to the Say What soundbite. This is a listening exercise where you guys get to practice listening and, well, relaying information, transmitiendo, relaying information back to somebody else. It's a great skill, even in your own language. So we're working on a couple different activities here. Listening, summing things up, relaying information. And as you know, the ultimate goal is to write down word for word what you heard. Hey, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Also, a couple reminders. Mark your calendars for March 26th at 7 p.m. That's right. March 26th at 7 p.m., the one and only El Mismísimo Richard Vaughn will be doing a meet and greet with his book, De Texas a España, his autobiography. And this is going to be taking place at the Retiro Park at the Biblioteca Municipal Eugenio Trias. You can get the information if you're following us on social media. I posted it. Also, I imagine Vaughn will post it as well. So whatever social media platform you use, all you have to do is go to grupovaughn.com, search for it in the search bar naturally, and hit follow. And that's it. Voila. You'll be in the loop. It's that easy. Also, mark your calendars for the 7th of April. This is after Easter week, después de Semana Santa. The 7th of April at 8 p.m., we're having another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's an awesome event. And this month, well, next month, I should say, it's going to be hosted by Jules Linares, the host of Let's Get Random here on the show. Let's Get Random. What a great show. And last time, Jules did a lot of stuff about psychology and sociology, about how the mind works. It was fascinating, actually. You know, because some people do more history stuff, some lean towards geography, others, like myself, it's usually pop culture. But Jules, man, last time, it was quite unique. And that was the first time she hosted it. This is the second time. So come on out and support her. It's Jules Linares. It's the 7th of April. We'll all be there. It starts at 8. Get there a little bit sooner than 8. This way you can get situated. And it's at the Toast Tap Room, which is located at Calle San Vicente Ferrer 33. Bueno, ya sabéis que en inglés se dice el número primero, right? So 33 San Vicente Ferrer Street, and you'll be able to hang out with your teachers, your fellow students, and have a wonderful time at this free event. Again, those two events I just mentioned are free, because sometimes people say, oh, do I have to reserve? Do I have to, is there a cost? No. In both cases, the answer is no. However, first come, first served, right? So if you get there late, you might not get a seat. That happened to me once. And I'm always preaching, oh, you got to get there on time. You got to get there on time. And there I was, a little bit late. And this was when Fitz hosted. And I had to sit like in the back by the bathrooms because it was so busy. So if you've never been, join us. And if you've been, well, you know, it's always a good idea to go back because it's a unique event. You don't have these all the time. And everybody, it's weird because usually when you go to a bar, you're not, you know, you're going to a bar, right, to be social. But in the end, you end up just talking to your friends, which is normal. You know, you don't talk to everybody in a bar. But here, everybody is doing the same activity. So it really brings people together. It's got a communal kind of energy behind it. Join us. I'll be there. I'll be there to guess all the questions she gives. I'll be there. All right, I'll stop singing only because I don't want it to rain. Okay, folks, well, as you know, in our Say What soundbite, we listen to a famous person speaking, and you guys have to kind of break down what you heard. Are you ready? Here's the Say What soundbite for the first time.
Well, a lot of people have asked me, why did I write that book or any book? All the stories I wrote were true because I believed in what I saw. I was traveling west one time at the junction of the state line of Colorado.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, folks. Vaughntown, an amazing initiative that we've got here at Vaughan, and it is a place where you can go to a beautiful setting. The setting is environment. It's another way of saying environment. And you can go up to a beautiful setting. You can really, really disconnect from your everyday life. In fact, it's encouraged, right? Se alienta que hagas eso, because you really want to be immersed. You know, and that's one of the problems when you go to a city, right, that you haven't been to, maybe like London or something like that. Well, the problem is you end up speaking Spanish with your friends or your family or whoever you're going with. So you're not really changing the chip. But here at Vaughntown, you're changing the chip. Like you literally, nobody's going to speak Spanish to you. In fact, it is off limits. Do you know this word? If something is off limits, you say prohibido, right? It's off limits. You are not allowed to speak any Spanish during your time at Vaughntown. So I highly recommend it. Again, it's one of the things that initially attracted me to the company. You know, when I started working here over 20 years ago, I remember thinking, what? They've got towns, little villages in the middle of nowhere where only English is spoken? Brilliant. It's a brilliant idea. And sure enough, it's still going strong. So I don't know. I would have to ask Richard. I don't know how, or Rob Grams might know it as well, how long Vaughntown has been going on. The reason I say Rob Grams is because Rob worked there for many, many years as the MC. You know the word MC, right? MC Hammer. Okay, so what does it mean? DJ is disc jockey, right? So what is MC? Master of Ceremonies. That's right. It's the abbreviation for Master of Ceremonies. And Rob worked there for many, many years. And he had the time of his life. And he never felt like that before. If you want more information about Vaughntown, our masters, our one-to-one courses, or any of the things that we have on offer, you can go to our website, grupovon.com, and or follow us on social media. And this way you will be in the know. Como decimos, enterados. You'll be in the loop. Al tanto, ponlo como quieras, dilo como quieras. The important thing is you'll know what's going on. You'll know when we have special deals, events, and also you'll get tons of content as well. Well, if you're already getting content by listening to Vaughan Radio, well, this just adds a little more to your arsenal. All right, my amigos. All right, let's move on though, because we've got a lot of stuff to do. So why don't we take a look at today's pop quiz? Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, welcome to our pop quiz here on the show. And this is where we take a look at all the different materials that you can pick up at Von Tienda. Again, you can buy them online and get them delivered to your house, or you can even stop by in person if you live in any of these amazing cities: Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza. Please stop by. Feel free. We'd love to meet you. All right, well, today we're going to take a look at my first book. This is a book that I wrote in Madrid, in Lava. So I remember it clearly. It was my first baby. And I remember I was living in Wash Feet. Yeah, that's right. Wash Feet. You guys know Wash Feet? Yeah, sure you do. Lava pies. Okay. I also wrote it in Andorra and in the French Alps. So this is when I was snowboarding before I injured my knee. I miss those days. But I remember getting inspiration from, the snow-capped mountains. And also, I was listening to the 25th anniversary of Les Miserables, the famous musical Les Mis. We call it Les Mis. Les Miserables, and it's epic. So I put everything into this. I was getting a lot of inspiration from nature, from music, and I know that this is a very useful material. You've got very practical English in it. So if we go to the beach, the movies, or if we're talking about technology or we're cooking, you've got all the basic vocabulary and sentences that you'll need. But also, it's full of little tricks, little things, common mistakes, pronunciation hacks, and all that jazz. I'm sure many of you have it, but if you don't, you can pick it up. It's 40 chapters. That's right, 40 chapters. Let's see how many pages this bad boy has over here. This bad boy is esta máquina. I don't know how you would say that. Máquina, esta cosucha. 328 pages. That's right. It's got 328 pages, and it's obviously comes with audio like all of our materials do. So if you're interested, you can check it out. It's called English Everywhere, Inglés en Cualquier Parte. I know many of you already have it, but if you don't, you are missing out. And as with all our books, if you go to the early pages here, so this is page 3 because you got the special thanks, coordination, all the legal stuff. But then right after that, you've got a page, and this is in all our materials. So this, if you've got any of the Vaughn materials and you don't know this, it's really important. So usually on the second or third page, you'll find something that says "Cómo descargar el audio del libro." There you'll find a website, which is audios.vontienda.com. And there what you do is you'll put in a code that comes in each book. And when you punch that code in, you'll have that audio available in MP3 format, and you'll be able to download it. So check it out. It's English Everywhere, and let's see where we're going today.
All right, today we're going to the library. So shh, hush up. Don't make a lot of noise, guys. Yeah, because people are studying. Yeah, people are studying. They're working hard. Maybe they're working on term papers. Maybe they're just researching stuff. But either way, we don't want to bother them. No queremos molestarles. So keep it quiet. Hush up. Button your lip, because we're going into the library now. All right. Well, I've decided to come with a friend of mine because we were going to check up and make sure that his book is on the shelves over here, and make sure that you can take it out at your local library. Not only buy it at baugantienda.com and wherever fine books are sold. So I've called an author to come here and help me, a friend of mine, and he's Kyle Miller. What's up, Kyle? How's it going?
Hey, Alberto, how you doing? Yeah.
Okay, man. All right.
I'm kind of anxious to see if my book is in here.
I imagine it'll be on the shelves, maybe in the English section. I'm not sure, but we're going to look around.
All right.
Vamos a echar un vistazo, and we're going to see if we can find your book. But, first, congratulations on the book, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
the Verb Circus. Tell us, what is this book?
Well, yeah, it's a book where I study verbs and I break down, right? How do you say break down in Spanish?
Desglosar?
Desglosar, you know?
Sure.
I break down verbs according to the individual uses, and we study the most important verbs in English through reading and translation and lots of exercises to practice and
Sure.
develop agility using the most essential verbs and grammar in the English language.
Sure. And it's called The Verb Circus, Los Verbos Esenciales del Inglés. Now, if you can't find it at your library, because it's a popular one, it's probably someone's got it out on loan.
Yeah.
Well, you can probably pick it up at any fine bookstore, as I said, at Balgan.
You can find it at most main bookstores now, it seems. Yeah.
All right. Well, will you take a walk with me? Let's see if we can find it here in this
All right.
particular library. Now, let me ask you this, Kyle. When was the last time you were in a library? Do you remember?
It's been certainly, I have to say, a few months.
A few months.
I haven't been in a library for a few months.
Okay. Do you remember the last one you went to, where it was? Or?
I think the last time I went to the library was when I was in Canada.
Okay.
Visiting, and I went to a library to check out a book.
Okay.
To check out. So you take the book. You have to return it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're borrowing it, really.
You're borrowing the book. Yeah. So just like anything else, you borrow. You borrow it from someone, and then you have to give it back,
or else you'll get a fine.
Or else you get a fine, and that's no fun.
I don't want to get a fine. It's not fine to get a fine.
No,
it's definitely
isn't.
not fine.
But you hear these stories sometimes of books being returned,
10 years,
50 years or 10 years later, and the library forgets and everybody forgets. And
Sure.
I suppose there's some point, after a certain point, they just say, we're not going to get that
It's
back.
a lost cause.
Yeah.
Un caso perdido. I remember. I have some some of my earliest memories are in the library. I remember at school, we were learning about the Dewey Decimal System, and we learned about, the different kinds of book, biographies, autobiographies, more documentary stuff. So you've got so many different romance novels out there. Now, what's your favorite genre when you like to cuddle up or snuggle up on the couch with a blanket and a good book? What are some of your favorite authors or a favorite genre of yours?
To be honest, I find myself, I studied business, and I find it interesting to read sometimes books that comment on business trends or, trends or things happening in the business world, or kind of maybe economics, but economics tied in with political themes and world themes, and people who are making predictions about future trends and things like that. Yeah. And
I read The Economist. They don't have a book;
Yeah.
it's a magazine, but there are many interesting books written.
Exactly. So that sort of stuff I like to read, something that I feel where I'm really learning.
Well, there are some books that are indispensable as far as business is concerned. You've got certainly some Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. You got some of these books that are like basically a standard. The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell.
That's
which
right.
teaches
I've read that one.
How ideas. What's the difference between an idea that sticks, that works, and an idea that doesn't? It's a really big genre these days. Self-help books.
Absolutely.
These books that help people deal with their problems, their emotions. There's a big, big market for that these days.
That's right. That's right. Self-help books.
And you've got these chicken soup books, Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yeah.
Right? Chicken soup is como el remedio, the remedy for the soul. So I read one of these. I read The Secret, which was pretty interesting. It was about the law of attraction. You attract you're like a magnet. So if you put out negative energy, you're going to attract negative people around you.
Right. Right.
Interesting concept. But reading is great because it takes you to another place. Do you have a favorite novel?
Ooh, I'll leave you hanging there. Does Kyle have a favorite novel? Well, all I have to say is a lot of time has passed, and that was many, many moons ago, como decimos, hace siglos. That was ages ago or many moons ago, because we were talking about Kyle's first book, The Verb Circus. And it's funny, the irony is we were also talking about business English books. And I guess maybe that's where Kyle got the idea to write business English. Either way, you can pick up both of his awesome materials at our bookshop. They are full of indispensable, esa palabra la hemos oído en el audio, indispensable books. All right, folks, we have got to take a quick commercial break. We have whizzed through the first part of the show, but when we come back, I'll give you your pop quiz challenges. Also, we are going to listen to our Say What soundbite again, and we're going to hear from some of you folks, which is always wonderful. because, well, yeah, I can talk for 2 hours. Don't you worry. I can talk for 10 hours. But it's always nice to hear from your fellow students as well. And as I always say, when I give somebody a note, un apunte, uy, cuidado con esto, that goes for everybody, ¿no? Va dirigido realmente a todos, porque normalmente es un error bastante común. Folks, we'll be right back with much more, so stick around. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back. This is part 2 of today's show with No Name. We've got tons of stuff to look at here. Let me give you guys your challenges in our pop quiz. As always, we're learning stuff that I believe you need to know, because you're going to hear it out there. And hopefully, you'll use it too. The first one is another way of saying to study about something or to research something. It's a phrasal verb. So here it says investigar, estudiar, documentarse o informarse sobre algo. We use it quite often. Okay? No sé mucho eso, voy a informarme, voy a estudiarlo un poco. Okay, that is a phrasal verb, and that is the first one we're looking for. The second one, how would you say un libro apasionante? You can say it's a book that you can't put down, no, que no puedes dejar. También to put down es insultar, pero no en este caso. But what's another way of saying es un libro? Oh, no puedo dejarlo. Vamos, me tiene cautivado, you say captivated. I'm entertained. I'm captivated by this book. Hey, and you can tell us a real book that is that for you. And the last one, how would you say la fecha de entrega? O hay que entregar el libro para tal fecha. Okay, this is a really good structure to know, and it'll be useful not just in a library, but it also, well, as we'll see when we look at it, has many other uses. Okay, we use it when also cuando sales de cuentas. So if somebody's pregnant and you say, ¿cuándo sales de cuentas? ¿Cuándo es la fecha de entrega? Sería una forma de decir eso. Okay. Y lo sabéis también porque se usa esta palabra en debido a las circunstancias, por ejemplo. So, es esa palabra debido. Entonces, realmente lo que estamos preguntando, ¿cuándo es la fecha en que se debe o cuándo está debido este libro? All right, so number 1, estudiar, informarse sobre algo, phrasal verb. Number 2, a way of saying that a book is fascinating and you can't put it down. And number 3, tell us how you would say hay que devolverlo o está debido. I don't know if you would say that, but I'm trying to give you a little clue as to what I'm looking for. Para tal fecha. You can make up the date. The important part here, I think, is the debido o se debe o hay que entregarlo. We use it too in school. We use it if you have to do a report at work. Hay que entregar esto para la semana que viene. Es la fecha de entrega. Okay, la fecha de que sales de cuentas. Again, the idea behind it is the same. All right, those are your pop quiz challenges. I'm sure you guys will kick some butt as always. Also, I'm going to give you your Say What soundbite now. Here it is for the second time, and we'll see if you guys can make some sense of it.
Well, a lot of people have asked me why did I write that book or any book. All the stories I wrote were true because I believed in what I saw. I was traveling west one time, at the junction of the state line of Colorado.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit. That's right, amigos. This book is the shit. You can pick it up at Von Tienda or, what am I going to say? Ya te deberías saber esta frase. Wherever fine books are sold. You've got tons of awesome materials. Some of my favorites, the translation booklet. Awesome. It really is. It's got the easiest structures and the most complicated structures and everything in between. So it's really a complete material. It wasn't written by me, as you know. It was written by Richard Vaughan himself on a typewriter, en una máquina de escribir. So just to give you an idea of how long that material has been a part of the Vaughan method, el método Vaughan. And what is the Vaughan method? Good question. I thought you'd never ask. The Vaughan method is the way you naturally learn your language. We don't teach you grammar if you don't know how to say it. So you need to know how to say it first, right? It's like with my daughter. I always say, if I start talking to her about grammar, I'm just going to confuse her. So I prefer that she understands me, that I can understand her, and then we are communicating, right? So that's really, then you can write it down. See, because some people, they need to see it written down. But as your teacher, I'm more interested in, can you say it? Do you know how to say this? Or is it something that you know how to write, but you don't know how to say? Well, then we're doing it wrong. In fact, that's the problem. When I moved here to Spain, I realized, everybody knows the grammar, but what about the speaking part? Isn't that more important? The grammar is there to make sure, as a reference, where you're like, no sé, esto es how much or how many? ¿Es contable o incontable? Okay, pues, right, when you're trying to figure it out. But when you're in practice, you're not thinking about grammar. I always tell you that. If you're thinking about, esto es el presente perfecto continuo, esto es el pluscuamperfecto, it's just going to be removed from the conversation. When really, if you're struggling with comprehension, you want to be as present as possible.
So we don't put the cart before the horse, para usar una expresión. O sea, hacemos las cosas en un orden lógico. And again, I always knew it worked because I've had hundreds of students throughout the years, thousands, I could even say, if we count the radio students, and all of them have made progress. And then I put it to the real test with my daughter, because from the first moment, from the get-go, as we say, desde minuto cero, and guess what? She has got it. She sounds great. She's confident. But I'll tell you something. She doesn't know what a phrasal verb is. She doesn't know what tense, qué tiempo verbal está hablando. Why? Because it's not important. Not really. Do you know? Yo a veces uso el ejemplo de que si tengo un alumno, digo, ok, ¿en qué tiempo verbal me acabas de hacer esa pregunta? Me mirarás como, yo qué sé, tío. No, pasado simple. I don't know. Because you don't know that stuff. I mean, you learn it, as I said, when you're a kid, when you're younger, just to, understand it better. But then it's not useful when you're, in practice. As I said, it's just going to take you away from the present moment, which is where you need to be. Because a lot of times, and I know this has happened to all of you, it's happened to me in Spanish. You don't know a word, but based on the context, you're like, oh, okay, I think I know what that means. I always ask. I have no problem asking. But that's the first thing I do. I say, okay, based on what the person's telling me, I guess this word must mean this. And you use process of elimination there. And you say, okay, pues no significa tal, porque no tendría nada de sentido. Pero si es esta palabra, sí que tiene sentido que fuera esto. And it's never been easier to check. Right? We all carry a little computer around in our pockets, and you can look things up, consultar cosas, en un plis-plas, in the blink of an eye, como decimos. You say, en un abrir y cerrar de ojos. Pues nosotros decimos lo mismo, in the blink of an eye. All right, so we're going to the library. Gotta love the library. As I said, some of my earliest memories are there. Let's take a look. Let's see. I'm going to test your vocabulary. You don't have to put this in the group. This is just to practice aloud, en voz alta. Okay, are we ready? Estante. Bookshelf. That's right, bookshelf. Now remember, the word shelf is like the word knife. When we pluralize it, the F turns into VES. So shelves, knives, halves, right? Half, one half, two halves. Calf. Calf is a baby cow, but also calf is your gemelo, digo en el cuerpo, en la pierna. And the plural, calves. La L muda. No, we don't say calf or calves. It's calf or calves. All right, next one. Let's see this one. Easy. Libro. Okay. Did you say book? I hope you didn't say book, because it's not book. It's book. The sound, say it. Make the sound with me. Book. Look, my mouth, if you're watching the video, barely opens. It's not boo, ooh. It's not ooh, it's a I know it's a sound that doesn't exist in Spanish. That's why we're looking at it. Book. Right? He did it by the book. Vamos a decir esta. Look at the book. No es look at the book. Primero, fíjate que no solo que estáis diciendo otro sonido, pero la longitud de ese vocal. Right? It's book, look. No es look, boo, right? O sea, aunque hicieras el mismo sonido, tenemos que acortarlo because it's that short sound, right? So ready? Look at the book. No, look at the book, right? Look at the book. Say it with me. Say it until you never say Luke again, because you know what I hear when I hear Luke? Luke, I'm your father. That's what I hear. And in fact, if you've seen Modern Family, there's a joke with that, right? Hay un chiste where she goes, Luke, right? Gloria's character. And she says, Luke. And then he says, the character's name is Luke. And he says, are you telling me to look or are you saying my name? Very, very funny. Modern Family. And Gloria is an example of how you shouldn't speak. Now, the actress is tremendous because her English is a lot better, but she dumbs it down for the sake of comedy, in the show. All right. What about libro de tapas duras? Very similar. Hardcover. Y libro de tapas blandas? You could say soft cover. I guess people would understand you, but I don't know. It doesn't sound right to me. We would say paperback. So paperback. Again, it's a Beatles song. Paperback writer. All right. Índice. Index. That's right. Bibliotecario. Librarian, right? So the library is the place. The person who works there is the librarian. Okay. What about prólogo? This is, usually at the beginning of the book and a little introduction or something written by another person. This is forward. Now, it's not for like cuatro, sino for como before. Forward. O sea, literalmente palabra adelante. Makes sense. And it sounds just like forward, adelante, right? I don't want to be forward, but did you read the forward? Son homophones on the show with no name. All right, let's see. The next one, diccionario. Easy. Dictionary. Shh. El sonido es, right? No es dictionary. That sound is a shh sound. Dictionary. Okay. Enciclopedia. I always say it about Richard Vaughan. He's a walking encyclopedia. Now, that's one of those words that I know you'll recognize, right? Encyclopedia. But the problem is, I'm sure a lot of people say enciclopedia. No, hay muchos sonidos vocales ahí. Entonces, tenemos que asegurar que estamos diciendo cada uno correctamente. Encyclopedia. Okay? What about editorial? This is a false friend because we don't say editorial. Editorial is a word in English. Editorial. But we call it a publisher. Okay? An editorial for us is un artículo de fondo. Okay? It's an opinion piece, right? Oh, she writes a weekly editorial in the newspaper. Okay, so es un amigo falso, cuidadito. But a publisher publishes a book. And as I said, I've got a lot of experience in this area. All right, so there it is, just a little review. You can find all of this stuff in English everywhere. Inglés en cualquier parte. And again, you've got the library, the kitchen. There's even a chapter on numbers. Well, you need to know numbers. Ordinal numbers are not the same as decimals, and they're not the same as fractions. Each one has its own set of rules. And so what I did is I put them all together and said, okay, these are the ones they need to know, right? These are the big ones here, the big mistakes. Like he has 4,000s, 4,000. 4,000 es, porque de vosotros le diríais 4,000. Bueno, pues entonces lo decís igual. 4,000 sin ese. 10,000 no es thousands, right? También cuando lo usamos como adjetivo. Por ejemplo, it's a 5-story building. He's a 10-year-old boy. Ahí no es 10 years o 5 stories, porque los adjetivos en inglés no cogen ese. So these are little tricks, things that you need to know. You can find them all in English everywhere. All right, let's go on over here to our virtual classroom and see who's in the house. We've got Born to Iron Man checking in. What's up, Born to Iron Man? Great to have you here. He says, hiya, show with no namers. Hello, my amigo. Wonderful to have you here. Again, ready to rock. And wow, yesterday, well, you impress me every day. But the spelling bee, I mean, you literally got it a second after I finished, and I went at breakneck speed. Velocidad de romperte el cuello. Te lo tengo que explicar. Breakneck speed. And let's see what he has to say about today's pop quiz. He says, I enjoy looking into history. Excellent. To look into es una forma de decir investigar. Y si lo piensas, no estás mirando más dentro de algo. So think of it as a glass, una taza. Oh, let me look into that. You're taking a deeper look. Okay, it wasn't the one I'm looking for, but it's a great one to look into it. And it's correct in that context. So I enjoy looking into history. And there's a thrilling book that I'm reading. Thrilling. Lo compro. Again, not the one I had. Y ahora os cuento las que he puesto yo. But it works. It works. Okay, thrilling, emocionante. We know it from This is Thriller Night. And then the next one, he says, The Map of a New World by Luis Thueco. I'm eager to know when his new book is due. Ahí está, programado, due. Yeah, so due to, debido a. Pero the due date, que de hecho es una película, due date es la fecha que sales de cuentas. En ese contexto, si es en el trabajo o en el cole, es la fecha que tienes que entregar algún proyecto. When is the due date? When is it due? Okay? So just so you know, and I know many of you are familiar with due, but did you know it's got so many uses? Absolutely. Well, excellent job, our buddy Born to Iron Man, knocking it out of the park. Awesome job, buddy. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to do another challenge before we head to our next commercial break. It's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right. It's Homophones on the Show with No Name. Oh, and I almost forgot to give you the other vocabulary. So the first one I was looking for is to read up on something. Tiene tres partes. To read up on. I don't know anything about that country, but I'm going to read up on it before I visit in the fall. Por ejemplo, ¿no? Estudiar, informarse sobre, me gusta ese, to read up on. Okay, that was the phrasal verb I was looking for. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. We've looked at it before. Just remember also, the verb read is irregular. So every day I read up on things. Yesterday, te toca. Yesterday I read up on things. And lately I've read up on things. So it's read, read, read. And this is like a phrasal verb en toda regla, no es tres palabras. And another way of saying un libro apasionante, thrilling works, we also say I can't put it down, no lo puedo dejar, but also we say a page turner, right? English everywhere is a page turner, que sigues pasando página. All right, so there you go. Excellent job, folks. Let's take a look at today's homophones. Now, the first word is the positive side of something, the advantages. You say pros y contras, pues los pros. Okay, pero claro, pronunciado al inglés, a la inglesa, ¿no? So you can say the advantages and the disadvantages, pero es mucha palabra, mucha sílaba. So you can always say, like you say, cosas en contra, cosas a favor, right? Pros y contras. So that's what I'm looking for. The first part of that, los pros, okay? That's number one. Number two is a kind of writing it's not verse. A lot of times when we talk about poetry and things like that, we talk about this. And it's prosa in Spanish. Prosa. O si algo está escrito en prosa, right? So the Odyssey, some translations of the Odyssey are written in okay, those are your two words. We'll see if you are familiar with the words. And then, of course, I want to know if they sound exactly the same or not. The first one, las ventajas, los pros, no, de algo. And the second one is prosa, prosa. All right, there you go, amigos. Good luck. You can give us your comments over here in our group chat. But right now, I can't believe it. We have got to go to a quick commercial break. We are halfway through the show. Are you kidding me? What? Oh my God. All right, well, when we come back, we are definitely going to put the pedal to the metal because time is of the essence. El tiempo es oro, el tiempo cuenta, los segundos cuentan. Plus, when we come back, we'll be hearing from some of your fellow students. Alberto, Alfonso, Anix, Born to Ironman, Cristina Chicago, Chris Valrol, Marisol, and Nuria. Plus, music, movies, and many more challenges up ahead. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back. This is the second half of today's show with No Name, where we're going to hear from your fellow students. I'm excited. It's always great to hear from you folks. And hopefully you'll take my notes, my feedback, and apply it. So every time you participate, you sound better and better. You sound more and more confident with each participation. That's the idea, to get you guys to do it regularly. And as I said, you should be speaking aloud much more than 1 minute a week. 1 minute a week is great, especially if you're getting feedback. But if you can do 20 minutes a week, 30 minutes of speaking, hey, you don't have to speak to someone. You can just read a book aloud. Or next time you're reading an article, even on social media, read it aloud. Hey, it's challenging. I can tell you that. But isn't that why you came here today? For some challenges? Oh, don't you worry. We've got many more challenges ahead. And then when this show is over, you can continue to learn English with all my amigos on Vaughn Radio. Just download the free Vaughn Radio app and learn and laugh with us all throughout the day, a lo largo del día and night. Sure. And don't forget, we've got some changes coming up here on Vaughn Radio. Stay tuned. I've already given you some of the changes, but this show will be on from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Vaughn Radio app and radio, and then it'll be repeated the following morning. So if you're a night owl, una persona nocturna, decimos búho de noche, or a morning person, you've got your daily dose of the show with No Name. Now, if you listen to these shows on your favorite podcast platform, it won't affect you at all because you already listen whenever you can, whenever it fits in to your busy schedule. All right, amigos, let's take a look. I'm going to give you your Say What soundbite now. This is the third listen of the Say What soundbite, and hopefully we'll get a little bit closer to figuring out what's going on in this audio excerpt. Here it is for the third time.
A lot of people have asked me, why did I write that book or any book? All the stories I wrote were true because I believed in what I saw. I was traveling west one time at the junction of the state line of Colorado.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. GrupoVaughn.com. That's our website. You can find everything you need, whether you want information about courses or you want some information about materials, upcoming events, new centers that we might be opening. All that information will be on our website, GrupoVaughn.com. Another way to make sure you're in the know is by following us on social media. So if you're on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, well, you can go to your search bar and punch in Grupo Vaughan. That's right, grupovaughn.com. And guess what? Voila. Well, don't put .com. You don't have to put .com in the social media search bar. If you're putting it in the Google search bar, put .com, but you don't even have to. As you know, guys, now you can search just by putting in Grupo Vaughan. Before, I remember you used to have to put www. Wow. www has more syllables than World Wide Web. O sea, es increíble. ¿Lo has pensado alguna vez? Piénsalo. World Wide Web. 3 sílabas. www. 8 sílabas. So wait a second. We're saying it longer than we need to say it. I like how you say it in Spanish, 3 W. But again, that has become redundant because I think everybody knows that now. And also the search engines have optimized, or I don't know the word that would be correct there, but they know now that you got to put in you don't have to put in HTTP, they know now, and they're not making us do that. But I remember, if you put in one letter wrong, sometimes you wouldn't find the page you were looking for. And now, well, they anticipate that nobody wants to put down www or http // It's not practical at all. Just like that abbreviation, www. What? 8 sílabas, una abreviatura. What's going on? All right, let's go on over here to our chat room. We've got K Roller Girl. She says Page Turner. Great. I'm just missing the context, but yep, that's the word I gave you. A page turner. Y solo tendrías que poner, the new book is a page turner. Y ya es una frase completa. Also, the word page turner, ya que lo has escrito, it's a hyphenated word que tiene guión. So page turner. Acuérdate, la pronunciación de turn no es turn, sino turn. All right, let's take a look at our homophones over here. Born to Iron Man's taking a stab at them. The first one, he says, prose. It's written correctly. Good job. The second one, prosa. It's also written correctly. And, te voy a decir las dos en una frase y tú me dices a mí si suenan igual o no. All right. There are a lot of prose writing in prose. So there are many pros that come from writing in prose. Do they sound the same? Absolutely. Do you know the pros of writing in prose? So the pros and cons. Y acordaos, un truquito cuando decimos el and, no es and, no es n. Es como hacemos si vas a decir la n, no el sonido, Nancy, Y ¿quieres que lo vea? ¿Quieres que te lo demuestre? Guns N' Roses, rock and roll. Hay un grupo Salt and Pepper. Push it real good. Salt and Pepper. Y además lo vemos también en English Everywhere cuando usamos números. 122. So hay muchas veces que ese and no le damos tanta importancia y pasamos por encima y hacemos el como si vas a decir no, pero no llegas a hacer la O. Guns N' Roses, Salt and Pepper, Black and White. All right? Pros and cons. Pros and cons. Nunca diría yo naturalmente pros and cons. ¿Por qué? Porque ese and casi se da por hecho, ¿no? Entonces, si tengo que poner and, le estoy dando mucho más importancia a ese and que lo que se debe, right? So, pros and cons. All right, well, there are many pros to listening to the show with no name, and I can't think of any cons. Also, cons are convicts. Oh, he's an ex-con, es un ex-convicto. Also, a con es un timo. He's a con artist. He's trying to con me. So esa segunda palabra de pros and cons podría ser, that would be a good double trouble in the future. But right now, it's not time for double trouble. Nope. It's time for another section where we get to hear from our amazing students. It's Question of the Week.
Question of the week.
That's right. It is the question of the week. And this week we're talking about adrenaline rushes. And, this one, I had to think about it. The last time I had an adrenaline rush was at my home away from home. Do you guys know where my home away from home is? Parque Warner. That's right, Parque Warner in Madrid. And, that's where I go when I need what I call it G-force therapy, mi terapia de fuerzas Gs. And if you're ever looking for an adrenaline rush, all you have to do is ride Stuntfall, una de las montañas rusas, one of the roller coasters there, or Batman Gotham City Escape. By the way, the best madrileños, in case you didn't know this, okay? I'm a geek, lo sé. De hecho, tengo una cuenta de Instagram que es Spain Coaster Geek, con más de 600, creo, seguidores. And Batman Gotham City Escape is the best coaster in Spain, hands down. Nadie te lo va a discutir. Best coaster in Spain. And it's in the top 3 or top 5, I would say, in all of Europe. And you've got some good coasters in England. You've got some really good coasters, even in Portaventura. Poland, Energylandia, that place has got some serious coasters. But Batman, Gotham City Escape, oh, man. I'm telling you, you want an adrenaline rush? That's where you have to go. All right, let's take a look, or let's have a listen. We're going to hear from somebody whose name I love. It's Alberto.
Hello, this is Alberto speaking again.
What's up, buddy?
It's a pleasure to participate in the question of this week.
Thank you.
Going straight to the point, I don't consider myself neither an adrenaline junkie nor a couch potato.
Great vocabulary. An adrenaline junkie. Piénsalo, un junkie de adrenalina. Alguien que persigue las cosas que dan adrenalina en la vida. And a couch potato is alguien que juega sillón bol, no? Somebody who's lazier. So he wouldn't categorize himself as an adrenaline junkie or a couch potato. Great vocabulary. You're off to a wonderful start, Alberto. Let's continue.
I'm someone in between.
Mhm.
I like challenges, although I'm not an adventurous person.
Tengo que oír esa M. Sonaba como I'm not, right? So esa M no es negociable. I'm not, right? Porque es el verbo ser o estar. Am.
Maybe the last time I experienced
Time o time. ¿No te gustan las M's, Alberto? Hey, para eso estamos, para ayudarte a meter esas M's. I always tell my students when they omit the M, what time? I'm like, what's your favorite food? Piensa en eso y qué hace tu boca. All right, so time. Vamos a decir esta frase todos para practicar la M esta. I'm on time. I'm on time. Llego a tiempo. All right, let's continue.
an adrenaline rush was the other day when I avoided a car accident.
Oh, God.
A car abruptly pulled out in front of me.
Pulled out. Hay que oír esa D un poco más. Pulled out. Oh, that's the worst.
And I slammed on the brakes.
Great vocabulary.
Immediately, my heart was racing.
I slammed on the brakes. My heart was racing. Mi corazón iba a mil. Wow, Alberto, you sound awesome, dude. Except for those M's, but we're working on them.
And I felt a surge of strength. After I pulled over to safety.
To pull over es ir a un lado de la carretera. Great. I pulled over. Ahí sí que me has puesto la D. Perfecto.
The adrenaline subsided,
leaving
me shaking, sweating, and feeling completely exhausted.
Oh, man, I'm glad you're okay.
Some time ago, a surgeon
time
told me that driving in a big city is more dangerous than going under the knife.
Dangerous, no os, sino us. Dangerous than going under the knife. Bueno, yeah, depends on what kind of surgery it is, pero buena expresión. To go under the knife, someterse a una cirugía.
And he was totally right. To change gears, I would like to finish being positive, and I wish you all to have an amazing weekend. Bye.
Alberto, wonderful job. Oh, it's true, man. Cars are dangerous. And do you know the joke? Hay un chiste. What's the most dangerous part of a car? Seguro que lo he contado aquí, entonces lo deberías saber. What is the most dangerous part of a car? The nut behind the wheel. No, the nut behind the wheel. Well, a nut, I think you say tuerca. Is that the word? A ver, let's see. A nut, a hard fruit, nuez, yeah, también. Fruto seco, también. Tuerca. But also el flipado, el loco, el chiflado, el tarado, a crazy person. You're a nut. So what's the most dangerous part of a car? The nut behind the wheel, detrás del volante. Hey, guys, it's a classic. Well, Alberto, thankfully, you're okay. And man, it was just a scare, but that's the worst, man. Because, you can be a defensive driver and you can go slow and, check your rear view mirrors a million times. But if somebody's not paying attention, or somebody's even worse, drunk driving, I know I've lost friends because of it. Lo digo en plural. Okay, so you don't have to tell me how dangerous a car is. Alberto, I'm glad it's just an anecdote, and good job. We got to work on those M's, but I'm sure you're going to practice this weekend. Get a list of words with M. O practica, I'm happy, I'm going, I'm coming, I'm eating, right? And until you never omit that M or it never sounds like an N. Again, this is a note for Alberto and many other students, because I've heard that same mistake many times. All right, let's continue with Alfonso.
Hi, Alberto.
Hey.
This is Alfonso from Ruby.
What's up?
One of the time I felt the most adrenaline was when I was scuba diving one day.
When I was scuba, not es scuba, right? When I was scuba, unimos la S de was con el scuba. When I was scuba diving, ¿ves? Y se alarga y así no metemos esa E española ahí. Seguimos.
I was at a depth of about 20 meters and accidentally pressed the inflator of my buoyancy vest.
So I was at meters. En vez de estaba pensando, es que mucho vocabulario ahí. So meters. He was scuba diving. Oh man, I've got to say that's something I've always been interested in doing, but also it scares the crap out of me. Let's continue.
So I showed up to the surface like a barrier.
I showed up to the surface. Cuidado, no es surface, o como lo dijiste, es una palabra, de hecho, mucha gente lo pronuncia mal. Sir, como señor, surface, surface.
That's something you should never do because the decompression can cause bubbles in your blood and you could
The decompression in your blood. So decompression in your blood.
even die. I think
You can even die. Oh, man.
that usually becomes really dangerous from around 40 meters,
Meters.
but still it's scary anyway. So I quickly went back down because my dive computer on my wrist was beeping. I descended again, and then later I came up slowly to stabilize myself.
To
But
stabilize.
honestly, the adrenaline in that moment was pretty intense.
Oh, I can.
Okay,
I believe
see
it.
you next time.
Wow.
Bye.
Oh my God. Great job. And guys, I'm glad I get my adrenaline rushes from roller coasters because these are like, brushes with death, or serious injury. Guys, I'm glad you're okay. Wow. Thank you for sharing that as well. And wonderful job. All right, let's continue with a student who never misses a chance to participate in this section. It's Anix.
Morning.
Hello.
This is Anix. Sorry, there are no birds chirping around me
Oh.
today. Sorry, Alberto. But my huge adrenaline rush was once when I was walking my dog in the park.
Mm-hmm.
I decided brilliantly unleashed her and lose sight of her.
So unleash, yeah, es soltar la cadena. To unleash, the leash es la cadena.
I started to call in
Oh,
her, but she
I started calling her or I started to call her. No podemos mezclar. O el infinitivo o el gerundio. I started to call her or I started calling her. Awesome. I hope the story ends the way I think it's going to end.
didn't came.
She didn't come,
it-
right? Didn't coge el pasado, no tocamos el verbo principal. She didn't come.
It was authentic panic.
I believe you.
She wasn't far from me. She was just ignoring me. Okay, bye-bye, guys.
Yeah, a part of you felt relief, alivio, and another part of you who was like, you crazy animal, you nutty dog. Why are you running away from me? You're going to give me a heart attack. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the worst. It happened with Simon once with me. I'm like, where did this guy go? For 1 second, I took my eyes off of him. So again, I'm glad in Alberto, Alfonso, and Anix's cases that all these stories ended well. Let's continue with Born to Spelling Bee.
Hi, this
Hey.
is BTI.
What's up, bud?
Well, what was the last time I felt a big adrenaline rush?
Probably this morning, knowing you. When I went and I was diving off the cliffs near my house. Eres capaz, tío. Los acantilados.
For me, it was last August
Okay.
during the Ironman race in Kalmar in Sweden.
All right.
I experienced again one of the biggest adrenaline rushes of one athlete's life. After months of training, the moment you step up
You step up.
to the starting line, your heart was already racing. The entry into the water, the crowd cheering, the music out loud, the realization that I was about to take on such a huge challenge.
Huge, como lo dijo Anix perfectamente, huge challenge, huge. Yeah, I've done half marathon. No, I've done 10Ks, not half marathons. And that feeling before you even, I mean, after you can feel the adrenaline, but you feel it beforehand too. I know the feeling you're talking about, even though I haven't done nearly as many kilometers as you. Y mira, fíjate, hablando de meters, si decimos meters, siempre se pronuncia así. Pero kilómetros, you can say kilometers or kilometers. A lo mejor por eso te equivocaste, because you can say kilometers or kilometers. Pero ya con los metros, not meters, it's meters. All right, let's continue with Born to Ironman.
Made the adrenaline kicking instantly.
Kicking
the
in.
Congress
Muy bien.
rush, as usually, came near the finish line, of course. After nearly 12 hours of swimming,
12 hours of swimming. It makes me tired just thinking about it. My God, you are an Iron Man.
cycling and running, my body was exhausted.
You were pooped. Otra forma de decir exhausted. I was pooped. O como dicen mis amigos británicos, I was knackered con KN. Knackered. Yo me acuerdo, nunca había oído esa palabra hasta que viví en Europa y digo, ¿qué? Otra vez del contexto decía, este está agotado. I was worn out. I was knackered. I was pooped. I was spent. I was beat. Wow. Lots of ways to say it. Yeah, beat, vencido también.
Yet the energy from the spectators and the thought of completing the race
Completing
push anyone forward.
can push anyone forward or will push anyone forward. Moverles hacia adelante, motivarles. Great vocabulary.
When you finally saw your family and the finish arc, everything felt intense at once. Relief, excitement, pride. Whoever had crossed that line once, and for me it was the 35th. No,
You're an animal.
It wasn't just about finishing a race. It was the reward for all the hard work and determination. In that moment, the adrenaline, the emotions,
At that
and
moment.
the sense of accomplishment made it unforgettable. Ciao.
Unforgettable. Yeah, anybody who's ever competed, I would say Born to Iron Man, it's not just about racing. I think any competition before a big basketball game or a big tennis match, those butterflies, that feeling of thinking I'm ready, but I'm nervous, but I'm excited. As you said, it's a mix of all different emotions, and that is super exciting. Anybody who has ever competed will know that feeling. Even if it's competing, at a little league level, ¿no? Como la liga interescolar, ¿no? De tu hija. You get those jitters, esos nervios, but those are the good nerves. The ones that, as you said, they motivate you, they encourage you, they push you forward. All right, excellent job to all of our students. We're going to hear from some more students, but right now we're going to take a quick commercial break. That's right. This is our last commercial break, and then we'll come back and finish up today's show. We're going to hear from, who do we got here? Chris Valrol, Cristina Chicago, Marisol, and Nuria. Plus, we have Double Trouble, Name That Movie, Famous Birthdays, and much more up ahead. So, if I were you, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Stick around. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back. This is the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Stay tuned after today's show, and you can continue to learn English all day long. Up next, you've got Speaking with Confidence with Ale. That's right. You've also got The Lunchtime Show with Rob Grams. You've got Speak English with Ruby. You've got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares, who's hosting our upcoming trivia night after Easter week. You've got Dave Boyce and the Salad. You've also got Jessica Fernandez and the Hour to Empower. Don't forget about the Pro Bow Show with Rob Grams. What a way to start your day. Speaking of adrenaline rushes, yeah, Rob will give you your daily dose of adrenaline first thing in the morning, a primera hora. After that, you've got Fitz. That's right, our buddy Fitz. He will guide you through a master class. And he's a stickler, como debe ser, rigorista. Well, he's got to set the bar high. After all, he is our teacher trainer. You won't find one teacher at Vaughn that hasn't gone through the Fitz filter. That's right, the Fitz filter. All right, amigos, let's kick things off with a challenge, yet another challenge, where we look at words with multiple meanings. You know it. It's called Double Trouble. Yeah. Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble, double trouble. I said double trouble. That's right, folks. Double Trouble here on the show with no name. And as you know, Double Trouble is where we look at words with many, many meanings. And one of these words I just said. I didn't mean to. No lo hice aposta, but I just said this word, moments ago, right before our commercial break, I said it. So if you were paying attention, here we go. Estoy reventado. Estoy reventado. Si no puedes vencerles, únete a ellos. Si no puedes ganarles, únete a ellos. It's an idiomatic expression. You say something similar. A lo mejor me lo estoy medio inventando en español, ¿no? Pero la idea es esa. Si no puedes con ellos, pues únete. Okay? So, estoy reventado. Again, I didn't mean to say it before, but it came out of my mouth. Estoy reventado. Si no puedo vencerles, me uniré a ellos, ¿no? Or me uno a ellos. However, you'd say that in Spanish. Again, I'm doing the literal translation, but I do know I have heard people say the similar expression. So, estoy reventado. Si no puedo vencerles, tendré que unirme a ellos. Okay? O me uno a ellos. Again, as long as it's grammatically correct, we will accept it. You've got to use the same word twice, as always, in our Double Trouble. All right, also, let's listen to our Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time. This is a tough one because nobody was able to sum it up for me. Yeah, okay, I didn't think it was going to be that difficult. Well, let's see if somebody can get it. But I have a feeling that if you can't sum it up, then it's because you don't understand it. I don't know. We shall see. Here goes.
Well, a lot of people have asked me why did I write that book or any book. All the stories I wrote were true because I believed in what I saw. I was traveling west one time at the junction of the state line of Colorado.
Me pregunta el del chiringuito si quiero hacer kitesurf o wakeboard o si prefiero tomarme un bitter gas antes. me acaba de decir 5 palabras en inglés. Kite, que significa cometa, surf, que es obviamente hacer surf, pero también significa oleaje. Wake, que es estela, en este caso la estela del barco. Board es tabla y bitter es amargo. Y justo antes, cuando le pregunté si hablaba inglés, me dijo,
pero patatero.
Sabemos mucho más inglés de lo que creemos. Solo nos falta asimilarlo y situarlo. Aprende a aprender inglés en cualquier lugar con This Book is the Milk y su secuela, This Book is the Milk 2. Te enseñaremos cómo enfocar el inglés, aprovechando todo el inglés que tenemos alrededor y de una manera divertida y adictiva. The Remilk ahora se llama This Book is the Milk 2 y viene con audio y nueva portada. Descúbrelos ya en vaughantienda.com.
That's right, folks. All right, let's see what we've got for today's Double Trouble. Born to Iron Man, taking a stab at it. You guys are leaving him hanging a little bit today. Estáis dejando un poco, well, it's okay. I know he can handle it too, so no problem at all. And let's see. He says, I'm beat. Muy bien. Hasta ahora. So far, so good. I'm beat. If you can't beat them, join them. Yes. Now, let me tell you something. Esto es frase hecha. Entonces el them realmente no es them. ¿Quieres decirlo como un nativo? Claro que sí, ¿no? If you can't beat them, join them. If you can't beat them, apóstrofe EM. If you can't beat them, join them. Okay, frase hecha. Excellent job. So yes, we said, I'm pooped, I'm beat, I'm exhausted, I'm worn out. No, son formas de decir reventado. I'm knackered. If you're British, you can say I'm knackered. Americans wouldn't say that one. Let's see. Born to Iron Man wants to give us another version here. Let's see. He says, I'm popped. If you can't pop them, join them. That was a little bit of a reach. Decimos, a reach, no llegas. You say a reach or a stretch, ¿no? Que significa lo mismo, te has estirado. You say rebuscado in Spanish. But hey, we'll give you an E for effort. I'm popped? No. And if you can't pop them, yeah, no. Esto es frase hecha. So you got it right the first time. I'm beat. Estoy reventado. If you can't beat them, join them. All right, excellent job. Let's see. We still have to hear from some of your fellow students in the question of the week. Up next, we've got a student from across the Atlantic. It's a ball of energy. Are you ready for her? You want an adrenaline rush? Don't worry, you're going to get one from Cristina Chicago right now.
Good morning, Alberto. This is Cristina from
I
Chicago.
told you.
Today's Sunday, but still with energy. Doesn't matter. So when was the last time, that I have a boost of adrenaline? It was yesterday.
Oh, good.
So as you will know, and I told you the last time that I spoke to you and all your audience, I'm a wrestling coach.
A wrestling coach. Chris, you're a super mom, a super woman, and a superstar.
So last weekend, not yesterday, past weekend, we were in regionals. So I took, kids, to regionals. They made sectionals. Yesterday was sectionals.
So regionals de la región, no campeones de región. Sectionals de la son diferentes, vamos a decir, etapas de un torneo. All right?
For the ones who doesn't know, how it works.
The ones who don't know how it works. Oh, great. You're going to explain it. Excellent. Because I don't remember. I remember we're going to regionals. We're going to nationals.
After sectionals, you go to state. So yesterday I took 11 kids with another coach. And against, all those kids, it was my son too. So he was wrestling for 126 pounds.
Se nota que vive en Estados Unidos. No dice kilos now. 126 pounds.
So at the end, 4 of my kids made a state. Not my son, but it's okay. I was crying.
They made state. Es que llegaron al nivel de competir con todos los del estado. Even though it wasn't your son, I'm sure he's happy for his teammates as well.
So seeing, your son, you're wrestling and fighting, and just that experience and that lesson is amazing. So yesterday I was on the edge of my seat.
On the edge of my seat. Estaba, vamos, on the edge of your seat. Lo tenemos en una canción. Are you ready? Are you satisfied? Are you standing on the edge of your seat? To be on the edge of your seat, estás, vamos, que excited, nervous, a mix of the two.
The whole time, like, so now, good thing is that we're taking 4 kids, and I'm quite sure that they're gonna place in state. That will be Friday and Saturday. I keep you posted. Bye. Thank you.
All right. Lots of luck. Mucha suerte to Chris Chicago and the wrestling team. Excellent. Awesome stuff. Chris, you are a ball of energy. No wonder they're kicking butt with a coach like you. All right. Next up, we've got another student who is awesome. She participates all the time, and you can tell, se nota, because when you hear her, she feels comfortable speaking English. I'm talking about Chris Valrol.
Morning, Show with No Namers.
Hello.
Chris Valrol here. I don't usually actively seek out adrenaline rushes.
Seek out, ir en busca de, great vocabulary.
I mean, I don't go on adventure sports or amusement parks. Nowadays, I almost always prefer watching movies that simply tell a story without any car chases or stressful elements.
Or bangs, explosions, shootouts. Yeah. The Hollywood formula is a little bit played out. No, gastado. Ya lo hemos visto todo. Awesome. Great. Let's continue.
I get enough excitement from life.
Good.
The last time I felt an adrenaline rush, was watching Stranger Things.
Okay.
I became really attached to the characters, and I spent many, many moments on tenterhooks.
Great one. You say en aspas? Is that how you say that? On tenterhooks. Great expression. Wow.
On pins and needles.
On pins and needles. Otra forma.
Hoping they were able to face the different situations that arose. And that's all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Situations. Qué bien lo has pronunciado, tía. Situations. No sabes las veces que he oído situations. So excellent job, Chris. I've got to say, I watched the first season of Stranger Things, and then I do that a lot. I start watching something, I don't get hooked, and then I also, it's a matter of time too. A lot of times, when I do have 10 minutes or a half an hour to watch TV, guess who, or watch Netflix or watch, HBO Plus or whatever it's called, Disney Plus, whatever, all these streaming platforms, guess who's in control of the remote? That's right, a little 6-year-old named Lara. So daddy doesn't get to control the remote control. All right, let's continue with Marisol.
Hi, it's Marisol.
Hi.
I can tell that really what I feel really adrenaline.
Cuidado con ese ri, right? No quieres, you don't want to roll the R, although Americans think it sounds sexy. Ooh, Ricardo, right? But just remember, really, no es tan, right? Acuérdate, no sabemos hacer ese sonido, la mayoría de los americanos. So, tenemos que suavizar esa R de really, really.
Is when I travel abroad.
Abroad. Esa es difícil también. No ode, sino odd. Aw, like awesome. Awesome. You're traveling abroad? Aw.
Going somewhere and see what I'm going to find there, what's going to happen.
Sure, the unknown.
I found this exciting. But to be honest, this year, the last time I felt a bit of adrenaline was when I was with a kid with autism,
okay. Mm-hmm.
And gifted as well.
Mm-hmm. Con talento, con dones.
And after training a lot, finally he could write a full sentence between the gap between 2 lines up and down, and he didn't go up or down. He wrote the sentence
Between the lines.
between
Oh, wow.
that gap
That's
and
great.
just saying the sound of the letter. It was very exciting. Greetings to our show, No Namers. Bye.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't have to be, you know, I went skydiving, hice paracaidismo. A veces es, no, me dio adrenalina ver a alguien superar algo, right? Somebody overcoming something or finally figuring out how to do it. That's a wonderful thing. I always have those hallelujah moments with my students, like I just had with Chris when she said situation. It's music to my ears. I'm going to cry tears of joy. Okay, I won't. But that's only because we still have one more student to hear from, and it's a student who never misses a chance to participate. It's the lovely Nuria.
Morning, Alberto and
Hello.
Namers. This is Nuria here. As for this week's question, I have to recognize that the last time I felt a big adrenaline rush was this last Sunday morning.
Okay.
In commemoration of Women's Day, a pickleball tournament was held.
Pickleball. It's very popular in the States now.
Morning, Alberto
Oh,
and
no.
Namers.
Sorry, I just did it again.
This
Okay.
is Nuria here. As for this week's question, I have to recognize that the last time I felt a big adrenaline rush was this last Sunday morning. In commemoration of Women's Day, a pickleball tournament was held. It was impressive because, aside from participating in the game, I met a lot of people I knew.
Oh, great.
The sensation you feel when adrenaline is released in your body is mind-blowing.
Yes, it
It
is.
makes you feel full of pins and your heart pounding fast.
And you feel alive.
At first, I was on pins and needles because
Great
it
expression.
had been a long time since I had played. Nevertheless, the result was extremely satisfying. That's all, folks, for now. Take care, amigos. Thank you.
And for a good cause, International Women's Day. Excellent job. You guys sound great. Keep up the good work. And hopefully we'll hear from you in our next question of the week. But right now it's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. Yes, it's Name That Movie here on the show with no name. Here we go. We don't have much time, so we're going to fly through this one. Rupert is an aspiring is in sus tiernes, an aspiring stand-up comedian who is willing to, dispuesto a, he's willing to go the extra mile, dar lo que hay que dar y más, no? Ir la milla extra, we say, in his attempt to appear in the late night show hosted by his idol, su ídolo. Let's take a look at the scene. Rupert and Masha now have Jerry held hostage. Le tienen como rehén. Hostage es la palabra. And Rupert says, why didn't you just listen to the tape? ¿Por qué no escuchaste la cinta? It wasn't that hard. A few minutes of your time to listen to something that I worked on my whole life. And Jerry says, let's go to my office and we'll play the tape right now. And Rupert says, do you know what would happen if I went there? You know, I'm not stupid. And Jerry says, nobody's calling you stupid. You pulled this off. O sea, has logrado hacer esto. That makes you very smart. And then Rupert says, you know, Jerry, I'm going to tell you something. Friendship, la amistad, is a two-way street. O sea, es un toma y daca, ¿no? Tiene que venir de ambos lados. Do you know that? And you couldn't care less about me. Y yo no te importo un pepino. All right, that is I Couldn't Care Less. All right, the movie is King of Comedy. It's a great movie that came out many, many years ago. I think it came out before I was born. No, 1982. It came out in 1982 with Martin Scorsese as the director, Robert De Niro, Jerry Lewis. It's a classic. But folks, it's time to move on because, well, we've got some birthdays to celebrate.
Birthdays for you. Birthdays for me. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Birthdays for her. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, folks. It's famous birthdays. Our first birthday girl was born today in 1946, an American actress, singer, and dancer. She's won every award out there under the sun. And, well, her father was a famous director named Vincent. I can't tell you his last name. And her mother was Judy Garland. Yeah, Judy Garland, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. So she comes from a family of actors. Well, show business people. She's got it in her blood. But she's been in many movies, you might know. Cabaret, New York, King of Comedy. She was also in Rent-A-Cop. She was in Arthur. And she is definitely one of those performers who can sing, dance, and act. Number 2, this American singer, songwriter, and guitarist has won 6 Grammy Awards. In the year 2000, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Some of his most famous songs, I've Seen Fire and I've Seen Rain. Really cool. I recommend his music, especially because it's pretty easy to understand. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Also, Sweet Baby James, You've Got a Friend. And, well, he's in the American canon, I think an amazing singer, songwriter, and guitarist. And speaking about the American canon, this beat poet, mira, hemos visto la palabra beat antes en el Double Trouble. He was from the Beat Generation, como les llamaban a estos poetas. Allen Ginsberg, William S. Burroughs, and this guy. He wrote On the Road, a very, very famous play, and we looked at the word prose before as well. Well, it's a play, it's a book, it's been made into movies as well, and I'm going to give you them because if not, we're going to run out of time. Number 1, Liza Minnelli. Number 2, James Taylor. And number 3, Jack Kerouac. That's right. And that's going to bring us to our Say What soundbite. It was a tough one today, huh? Well, this was Jack Kerouac, beat poet Jack Kerouac. And he says, a lot of people have asked me, why did I write that book? Or any book? All the stories I wrote were true because I believed in what I saw. I was traveling west one time at the junction, esto es donde dos estados la frontera. I was traveling west one time at the junction of the state line of Colorado. He doesn't say Colorado, he says Colorado. Here he is, birthday boy and beat poet Jack Kerouac.
A lot of people have asked me why did I write that book or any book. All the stories I wrote were true because I believed in what I saw. I was traveling west one time at the junction of the state line of Colorado.
All right, folks, that applause is for you. Thank you so much for your effort every day. Don't forget to stay tuned on the Vaughn Radio app, and you can listen to all the amazing programs that we've got in store for you. Programados por venir. And we're going to say goodbye with an awesome song by James Taylor, our birthday boy, James Taylor. And this song is Fire and Rain, probably one of his most famous ones. ones. And if you'd like to sing along, you can Google Fire and Rain, James Taylor, and we'll say goodbye with this amazing song. Thank you so much, everybody, and ciao for now. Mm-hmm.